From the very first second, the sky itself felt like it was holding its breath the day everything fell apart. A storm clawed across the coastline, lightning splitting the sky open like a warning the world refused to hear. And somewhere between those crashing waves and the frantic cries of a terrified child, a mother watched her life collapse in a way she could never have imagined. The man she once trusted with her entire soul, her husband, her partner, the father of her little girl, had a chance to save their drowning daughter, but instead of reaching his hand toward his own blood, he ran. He ran toward a different life, a different woman, leaving behind screams swallowed by the ocean's roar. That moment didn't just break a family, it forged something new inside the mother he betrayed. Something cold. Something unstoppable. For years, Lena wore the chaos of the storm like a second skin, replaying those moments in her mind like a broken film, reliving the pain of that betrayal like an unscarred phantom limb. What followed after that storm was a long and brutal silence. Not the kind filled with peace, but the kind that sits heavy on your chest, making every breath feel like a burden. Lena had always believed marriage was built on trust, on promises whispered in the dark, on shared dreams tucked into the corners of everyday life. She never imagined that she would be left standing alone on a beach with the weight of a nightmare pressing her into the sand. Her daughter, little Ava, only 6, full of laughter that danced like wind chimes, had slipped while playing near the water. Lena had turned her back for a moment to grab a towel from their picnic basket. Just one moment. That was all it took. She heard Ava scream before she even saw her fall. She sprinted, her voice tearing from her throat, calling both Ava's name and her husband Mark's, who stood just a few feet away. He could have grabbed her. He could have reached out. But instead he froze, looked back over his shoulder at the cliffside walkway where his mistress was waiting, then made a choice Lena would replay every night for years. He ran toward the other woman. And Lena ran into the sea. The current was vicious, but a mother's love is fiercer. Lena fought through waves that beat against her like fists, her arms burning, her lungs screaming. She got to Ava before the water swallowed her completely. She held her, pulled her, begged the ocean to give her child back. When they both finally collapsed onto the shore, Ava coughing, crying, but alive, Lena looked up to where Mark had disappeared. It was the moment she realized she wasn't looking at a husband anymore. She was looking at a ghost. Someone who had been living beside her but had already abandoned her long before the ocean tried to. The months that followed were a blur of recovery, heartbreak, and harsh truths. Mark didn't return home. Instead, papers arrived, signed requests demanding divorce, blaming Lena for everything, accusing her of being unstable, dramatic, overly emotional. He had spun lies so easily, so confidently, as if he had rehearsed abandoning his family long before reality gave him the chance. His mistress, a woman named Brielle, posted photos with him online, smiling, traveling, building a fresh start as if no child had almost died because of their selfishness. Lena didn't respond, didn't fight back, didn't scream into the empty rooms of the house he left behind. She focused on Ava, on healing, on survival. And slowly, quietly, something inside her sharpened like a blade cooling in winter air. Years passed. Ava grew, blossoming into a bright, resilient girl with deep brown eyes that carried storms and strength all at once. Lena rebuilt her life piece by piece. She worked multiple jobs, studied late into the night, and eventually secured a position at a nonprofit that helped families of disaster victims. A role that felt carved from her own pain, her empathy, her resilience. People admired her, respected her, even relied on her. But behind all those smiles and successes was a memory that refused to fade. A memory of a man running away from his own daughter as she reached for life. Lena never told Ava the truth. Not all of it. Only that an accident happened and they survived. Ava never asked much about her father. Children know when a silence is too heavy to touch.
Still, every birthday, holiday, first day of school, the empty space at the table never stopped reminding Lena what she lost and what she was owed. Then one ordinary afternoon, fate delivered something unexpected. Lena received an invitation to a charity gala hosted by a wealthy real estate development firm, one she recognized immediately. The CEO was Mark. His mistress was no longer a mistress. They were married now, successful, celebrated, untouched by consequences. The gala was a fundraiser for ocean conservation, a cruel irony that punched Lena in the chest and ignited something deep and dangerous inside her. She almost deleted the email, but then she looked at Ava, now 14, sitting at the kitchen table, doing homework with the same determination Lena once held in the storming sea. And in that moment, Lena realized revenge didn't need to be loud, or violent, or fueled by rage. It could be cold, controlled, surgical. It could be justice wrapped in grace. When Lena arrived